Good evening. Welcome to the 7th Annual Governor's Step Forward Awards. My name is Marjorie Moss. I'm the chair for Serve Nebraska Commission. Each year, the Step Forward Award celebrates volunteerism and extraordinary acts of service across the great state of Nebraska. I am sure that you all will agree with me when I say that the perseverance, kindness, and generosity of volunteers help bring us together and inspire us to do more in our communities, even in times of disaster. The last year and a half has been certainly trying for all of us, but many volunteers have stepped forward and enhanced their efforts to help Nebraska weather the storm. I'm so excited to be with you all tonight to recognize and honor a group of outstanding people who make the Nebraska difference every day through national service and volunteerism. The Serve Nebraska Commission believes that we should never underestimate the impacts that individual citizens can make when we each do our part and give what we can. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank not only the phenomenal 2021 Step Forward Award honorees, but also every Nebraska volunteer. Your service has made all the difference. As we get started, I'm honored to introduce a special group of volunteers who recognize the importance of volunteerism and make this event possible each year. Serve Nebraska commissioners are appointed by Governor Ricketts to provide leadership in promoting national service and volunteerism in Nebraska. They are Matt Blomstead, Nebraska Department of Education; Anastasia Bauer-Shearer, Boys Town; Kelly Fleming, Omaha Public Power District; Drew Graham, Svala Law Offices; Amy Hall, Bosselman Enterprises; Ashley Hathaway, Self-Employed; Care Heilbrunn, Team Health; Lisa Hyatt, Girl Scouts Spirit of Nebraska; Dawn Hovey, Essential Pregnancy Services; CJ King, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers; Ashley Mueller, USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture; Deborah Neary, Nebraska State Board of Education; Wayne A. Nestor, Community Volunteer; Sheila O'Connor, Association of General Contractors, Nebraska Building Chapter; Joe Papivas, Nelnet; Jennifer Worthington, Grand Island Public Schools; and Patty Stengel, Americorps. For their additional dedication and leadership in the production of this event, I want to extend a special thanks to the Community Volunteering Committee. We're also grateful to the Serve Nebraska staff for their hard work and support. Thanks to Kathleen Plager, Executive Director; Audrey Jackson, Financial Grants Manager; Catherine Lacey, Americorps Program Development Officer; Ronnie Tabrick Potter, Public Information Officer; and Carol Swotek, Special Events Coordinator. And last, but certainly not least, we are so grateful to our generous sponsors for their unwavering support: Metropolitan Utilities District, Motion Content House, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, Nelnet, Home Instead Senior Care Foundation, Share Omaha, Omaha Public Power District, the Lead Center for Performing Arts, Benny and Jamesina Moore, and Paul and Lori Hogan. Thank you all. With sincere Nebraska optimism, we hope we'll all be able to see one another again in person in 2022. We encourage each one of you to join us next fall for an extra special celebration where we will celebrate the Step Forward Award honorees from 2020, 2021, and 2022 all together. I am thrilled to introduce our next speaker, Governor Ricketts. Our governor has always been a steadfast supporter of Serve Nebraska in our work to expand Americorps, national service, and volunteerism in Nebraska. Governor Ricketts is passionate about giving back to Nebraska communities through his own charitable causes, such as the Mid-America Council for the Boy Scouts, the Opportunity Education Foundation, the Nebraska Game and Parks Foundation, and the Knights of Columbus. He is driven by his desire to give back to his community and commitment to making Nebraska the best state in the country to live. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Nebraska's Governor, Pete Ricketts.
Thank you, Marjorie, for those kind words. It is my pleasure to join you virtually this evening to celebrate some special people who make Nebraska great, our volunteers. Volunteerism has long been a cornerstone of what it means to be a Nebraskan. We have all heard and used the slogans Nebraska Strong or Nebraska Nice. And the dedication shown by our volunteers has played a large part in earning our state those distinctions. I believe it's important to reflect upon the commitment and teamwork required to make our communities the best they can be. After all, we get to enjoy the good life in our state because Nebraskans exemplify the strength and kindness to support one another through whatever challenges we may face. Each nomination submitted for the Step Forward Awards represents a person who goes above and beyond in caring for their neighbors and fellow Nebraskans. Though we will be presenting only 11 awards this evening, I hope that all of you feel as proud as I do of everything that you have accomplished. Whether it's signing up to serve in a national service program such as Americorps, taking a leadership position on boards of directors, or volunteering your time at a local food pantry, your service matters. And it sets an example for all Nebraskans. One person's act of generosity creates a spark, inspiring others to serve until service is so embedded in our culture that we cannot imagine a country without it. Thank you for being a part of cultivating that tradition of service. The Step Forward Awards are the most prestigious awards given in Nebraska in recognition of outstanding volunteer service. My most heartfelt congratulations go out to this year's exceptional group of honorees.
Thank you, Governor Ricketts, both for being here tonight and that inspiring call to service. Now, I'm delighted to welcome back for the fourth time in Step Forward Awards history, our MCs, John and Taryn Vanderford. John and Taryn are best known in the central and eastern Nebraska regions for their work as Emmy Award-winning anchors, reporters, and producers for KOLN, KGIN 1011 News. They are also credited with highlighting Nebraska's #1 industry, agriculture, on their show Pure Nebraska. The program encourages us to get out and explore the extraordinary beauty of rural Nebraska. John is the executive producer for Pure Nebraska and co-hosts the show with his wife, Taryn. Taryn also anchors the 4 p.m. news and is a familiar face to parents in Lincoln due to her work hosting Lincoln's Moms Everyday program. Please join me in welcoming your hosts, John and Taryn Vanderford.
Thanks, Marjorie. We're excited to be back to highlight some top-notch Nebraska volunteers. First up is the adult volunteer category. The honoree is Sandy Manful from Grand Island. Sandy has proven herself to be a beacon of hope through her commitment to increasing awareness about suicide and mental health in the Grand Island community. Sandy volunteers with the Nebraska chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention out of Omaha. There she turns hope into action in order to help create a culture that is knowledgeable and responsive when it comes to mental health. When communities stand up for mental health and suicide prevention, more lives are saved and brought out of the darkness. Sandy has helped to lead the way by shining the bright light of awareness through coordinating the Out of the Darkness Walk for the 4th year in 2021 and organizing Wellness Wednesday Facebook posts. She also provides information tables at events around the community to decrease the stigma surrounding suicide and mental illness. Sandy is credited with coordinating the first Pause for Prevention event in the state of Nebraska, which raises awareness about how pets can help ease anxiety and depression. Talk Saves Lives is another outreach program Sandy has championed because she is determined to be a voice for those who can no longer be heard. We congratulate Sandy for her ongoing efforts as she continues to share boundless hope.
The 2021 Youth Volunteer Leadership category is sponsored by Share Omaha. Share Omaha is proud to support young people in Omaha who are doing their part to give back. The Youth Volunteer Leadership awardee is Mahika Kanchanam of Omaha. We can't emphasize it enough to say that one of Nebraska's best resources is its youth, and Mahika is a stellar example of a youth leader. She actively takes social responsibility through volunteerism, and her actions have made an astounding difference. Last year, she initiated a service project to help local hospitals, producing and donating nearly 4,000 items of PPE. Furthermore, she recruited volunteers to sew masks to be sold to raise funds, generating $2,800 for the Food Bank of the Heartland. Mahika exhibits leadership by inspiring other students to volunteer as vice president for her school's Interact Club. She's active in local projects such as the monthly Red Cross Blood Drive, coat drives for the Open Door Mission, and international initiatives which increase access to education for girls in South Sudan and gather funds for oxygen in India. Even with over 230 hours of volunteer work to date, Mahika excels in her studies and extracurricular activities at Millard North High School, plays the piano, and practices Indian classical dance. Mahika sees volunteerism as a responsibility and hopes to encourage other young people to make a difference too. Great work, Mahika.
Americorps is more than just a logo. To members, it represents their adventure, their perseverance, and the commitment to strengthening communities. And to communities, it's a represented assistance in a disaster, reassurance in a time of need, and hope when it was needed most. I'm Sheikh Hill, and I served as an Americorps member in 2020. To me, Americorps is empowering because it allowed me to give back to communities that helped me.
My name is Karima, and I served in Americorps in 2012. To me, Americorps is about gaining experience and taking on new responsibilities.
Hi, I'm Craig, and I served as an Americorps member in 2010. And I believe that Americorps is about serving your country, changing yourself, and changing the community you serve.
We're proud of what this logo has meant to so many members and communities across the United States. We can't wait for your new stories and your new wins, serving under our new Americorps logo. And we'll continue to get things done because we are Americorps.
Next up is the National Service category. The National Service awardee is Nicole Metz-Andrews, who served 2020 with Together Inc. in Nebraska. Each term of national service through Americorps means a whole year dedicated to making an impact in your community. Nicole Metz-Andrews made a difference every day when she was serving at Together Inc. Nicole joined this Omaha Americorps program in September of 2020, and she made quite the impression on her fellow Americorps members and staff. Nicole's primary responsibility was maintaining the community gardens. She made significant improvements to them throughout her term of service, resulting in a bountiful harvest of healthy food to supplement donations to the food pantry. But Nicole didn't stop there. She was the go-to person known for excelling at juggling multiple projects without hesitation. Food distribution is a top priority at Together, and Nicole was a major asset at the food pantry, managing volunteers and organizing food items. Her leadership with the food outreach program in its various forms kept her on the move. She prepared and distributed boxes of food through the mobile pantry to families that were COVID positive or at high risk. She even took the initiative to run food to homeless shelters. Nicole is a fantastic example of an Americorps member invested in giving back to our state. Congratulations, Nicole.
The Veteran Volunteer category is sponsored by Nelnet. Nelnet proudly supports veterans who have given so much to our country. They love to see veterans continue their service as volunteers here at home. The Veteran Volunteer honoree is U.S. Navy veteran Jim Kuhn of Nebraska City. Whenever duty calls, Jim is known for stepping forward. Jim's background is in construction, making him a natural choice for leading the Nebraska City Veterans Memorial Building project. This project fell into a state of disrepair in the early 2000s, but Jim spearheaded the effort to procure grant funding to complete the much-needed renovations. He has organized volunteers to help restore this historical monument, projected to reopen in 2022. When the building opens, it will contain meeting spaces, a gymnasium, concerts, meals, and events that benefit all the citizens of Nebraska City and its surrounding neighbors. Jim has dedicated a significant amount of his time and energy to preserving the history of Nebraska City. He inventoried every building on Central Avenue and created a framed plaque depicting a timeline showing the history of the building. Thanks to him, the citizens of Nebraska City continue to take pride in the old stone cabin in Steinhardt Park that he was integral in refurbishing. Thank you, Jim, for your service both to Nebraska City and our country.
The Corporate Community Volunteer category is sponsored by OPPD. Thanks, OPPD, for leading the way for corporate volunteerism in Nebraska. The Small Business Honoree is Dave's Pharmacy in Hemingford. Dave's Pharmacy and its employees have a lot of love for their community of Hemingford and the surrounding area. For them, volunteerism isn't just a hobby, it's a priority. They offer employees incentives to reach out to the community in a variety of ways throughout the year. Dave's Pharmacy sponsors events such as the Walk to End Alzheimer's and encourages employees to participate. Working together, the company's employees donate their time and funds to purchase gifts for nursing home residents, gather food donations for the food pantry, and put together Christmas meal baskets for families in need. In response to the COVID pandemic, their employees have stayed open late and taken weekend hours, as well as going on site to administer vaccines. Co-owner Dave Randolph serves as a member of the State Drug Utilization Board, and his counterpart, Blanche Randolph, is a member of the local school board. Businesses like Dave's Pharmacy that invest in their communities help make towns like Hemingford a great place to live. Hats off to all the owners and staff at Dave's Pharmacy.
The large business corporate community volunteer honoree is Home Instead Champions of Aging in Omaha. Home Instead Champions of Aging has created an innovative program by pairing its broad vision of life stages and understanding the aging process with the evolution of technology. The Champions of Aging program is a paid service year opportunity for college students and recent graduates to work with nonprofit organizations providing hands-on care for seniors. To date, 15 champion participants have served at 10 service sites in Lincoln and Omaha. They also complete an online curriculum and leadership training. Champions of Aging is working to develop the next generation of geriatric professionals and advocates. As a result of the program, they will become leaders that possess a deep understanding of aging and the needs of this growing population on a local, national, and global level. Participants strive to make a difference by growing their knowledge of the aging process and the myriad of challenges facing our aging population. These dedicated champions will continue advocating on behalf of seniors long after their time in the program is complete. This Hallmark program is paving the way for its champions to become visionaries in establishing appropriate services and a working foundation for senior support throughout the life stages. Congrats to the Champions of Aging program powered by Home Instead.
Speaking of Home Instead Senior Care, they're the sponsor for the Senior Volunteer category. Join us in thanking Home Instead for their advocacy of seniors as they give back to their communities. The honoree for this category is Larry Massey of Gearing. Larry Massey often says, "It's an honor and a privilege to serve." In the Panhandle communities of Scottsbluff and Gearing, Larry has been serving with a happy heart for 20 years at a local soup kitchen he founded. He has also assisted with Christmas dinners in the Valley for 18 years. When he saw a growing need during the pandemic, Larry established the nonprofit organizations 1113 Ministries and By God's Grace Mobile Meals. Larry and his team prepare and deliver between 450 to 500 hot, nutritious meals twice a month to the elderly and others. Up to 50 volunteers work to prepare, assemble, and deliver meals to show care and concern for their neighbors. Driving around in the 1113 ministry van, Larry distributes what he calls blessing bags, which contain toiletries and food items. He often gathers referrals about individuals who need rental assistance, food boxes, clothing for upcoming inclement weather, and even puts folks up in a motel for a couple of days to escape the harshness of winter. Larry demonstrates love and care for everyone he meets, believing that everyone should feel that they have worth and value. As the well-known song says, what the world needs now is love, and Larry is certainly spreading that love with his countless acts of kindness and generosity. Thank you, Larry, for all your hard work.
Next up is the Disaster Volunteer category. The Disaster Volunteer awardee is Carissa Shank of Scottsbluff. It is easy to overlook that when a disaster strikes, support is needed not only for the disaster victims, but also those fighting the disaster. Luckily, Carissa Shank steps up through her dedication to the firefighter ministry in Scottsbluff County and the surrounding areas. Not only does her volunteer service bring comfort and aid at a time of crisis to those affected by fire, she never fails to support those fighting on the front line. In response to the historic Hubbard Gap Fire of 2020, she coordinated meals and drinks for nearly 200 people over 6 days of battling the fire in Banner County. Her assistance was needed again in 2021 to feed up to 100 firefighters on a 4,000-acre blaze. Food is the essential fuel that keeps these workers going when fighting a fire, so Carissa even prepared some of the food herself to keep the tables amply supplied. Those affected by house fires and automobile crashes also rely on Carissa for the much-needed comfort of lodging assistance, clothing, and food. She even opens her own home to those who need it. Carissa has serviced an average of 30 calls each year since 2012 and is always ready to render relief at a moment's notice. What an achievement! Great job, Carissa.
The volunteer group category is sponsored by Metropolitan Utilities District. Metropolitan Utilities District is excited to support volunteers who use teamwork to make their communities better. The honoree in the volunteer group category is Washington County Recycling Association from Blair. Did you know that volunteers move mountains? Sometimes literally. For example, the Washington County Recycling Association moves mountains of recycled products. They've moved over 17,000 tons to date. Washington County Recycling Association has taken environmental preservation to a new level since its inception in 1990, with the support of dozens of volunteers from students from the local high school to 2 dedicated 85-year-olds. Workers come to the site 2 days per week. Despite the challenges, they continued recycling safely during the entire COVID-19 pandemic with the help of staggered scheduling. The group built innovative docks and bins with exclusively donated resources to more efficiently run their operation. Cardboard, plastics, and aluminum cans are sorted and sold, generating proceeds to improve Washington County. They donate to organizations including the Scouts, churches, food pantries, projects for individuals in need, and scholarships to deserving students who volunteer at the recycling center. Beyond recycling, these volunteers model exemplary leadership, serve as mentors for youth, instill pride in community service, and uphold environmental stewardship. Shout it from the mountaintops. The Washington County Recycling Association provides service of the highest caliber.
This next award was named for founding Serve Nebraska Commissioner Jamesina Jamie Moore. Jamie was an integral part of the commission and its accomplishments from 1994 to 2018. During this time, she served several terms, equaling 10 years as the commission chair. To honor Jamie's tireless spirit, the Serve Nebraska Commission dedicated this award to recognize enduring champions of national and community service who have significantly furthered the State Commission's efforts. And now a few words from the Jamesina Moore Making a Difference Service Award honoree, former Nebraska First Lady Sally Ganem of Fremont.
I have had amazing experiences and many opportunities to serve, and I get real excited about it. I've always lived my life in service, and I looked at being an educator as service-oriented. You're serving others. You're helping young children to learn. You're working that way. And it's exciting to be able to serve others in different organizations, groups, or as an individual. Jamesina Moore, I look up to her as an epitome of a volunteer. She is absolutely a wonderful individual, and I'm very excited, since I do know her, to receive the Jamesina Moore Making a Difference Award, and that makes it extra special. And when I had a call that said I was considered for that, it was amazing. I mean, I was very excited, very humbled, very honored. The more you give, you get back. It's amazing. And mostly from my parents, who always gave. So I had role models growing up. Even though we didn't have very much, they still gave to other people. And Serve Nebraska does wonderful work. They coordinate and operate Americorps. They certainly arrange for different volunteer opportunities in the community. They promote volunteerism throughout the state. I really enjoyed being around the Americorps folks. I enjoyed going to the Habitat for Humanity sites where some were working. It's amazing.
The Lifetime Achievement Award is the highest honor given for volunteerism in our state. It's been presented to some truly inspiring Nebraskans. This year, the presentation of this award is bittersweet, as our honoree unfortunately passed away earlier this year after a lifetime of accomplishments and service. The 2021 Lifetime Achievement honoree is Nancy Hoke from Nebraska City. Coming up are a few words from Nancy's family and close friends about her commitment to volunteerism and getting things done for Nebraska. Thank you to the Hoke family and all those who knew Nancy for being here tonight. Our deepest condolences go out to you.
Nancy Hoke was indescribable, one of a kind, tenacious person, but very giving and caring. Everything she touched was first class. She was one that always reached out to newcomers, made people feel welcome.
She was absolutely a Nebraska City girl, and she's absolutely was a Nebraska girl. I think she was really trying to make it a place that everybody loved, and make it a place that everybody would want to go to, and make it a place that's appreciated by everyone, whether they're from here, passing through here, or recently moved here. She wanted to make it a really great place for everyone.
She had a power of focus and determination, generosity. I just learned how to really be a class act. Not that I necessarily am like Nancy is, but oh, she was just a thrill to observe and to learn from.
I was very fortunate enough to go on trips with her as a part of the development of the Lewis and Clark Center, but all a part of my childhood. It was demarcated in time with trips to the Lewis and Clark Center. I went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Louisville, Kentucky, and then it was all culminating in the opening of the Lewis and Clark Center.
We really both fell in love with the story of Lewis and Clark, and they were trailblazers too, right? And so it was so much like Nancy's world that she lived in, of being first and exploring and discovering and observing things that other people don't always see.
Education and knowledge and learning was a very important aspect of her life and what she wanted for her family and then for her community.
One of the reasons she was successful, she got people excited about her ideas in a way that was just infectious, I guess.
She was a transformational leader in that she gave you the tools that you needed, but she could inspire people to get done everything that she had a vision for. And I think probably the thing that I still carry with me every day right now is that if you have passion and perseverance, you can make things happen.
Final congratulations to this year's honorees. The work that you have done have helped your communities more than you know. We are delighted to have been able to recognize all that you do.
To all Nebraska volunteers, we extend our heartfelt thanks for all your great work and for tuning in to help celebrate this fantastic cause. We hope to see you out there as we work together to keep Nebraska moving forward. For closing remarks, we'll hand the mic over to Serve Nebraska Commissioner Care Heilbron.
Thank you. I'm Care Heilbron, Chair-elect for the Serve Nebraska Commission and Chair for the Community Volunteering Committee. Each year, we get the absolute pleasure of honoring a group of extraordinary Nebraska volunteers who inspire us to seek out opportunities to give back. This year was no exception. It's my greatest hope that, like me, you feel a renewed sense of commitment to philanthropy because of the stories that we have heard this evening. We're proud to be able to say that Nebraska is 6th in the nation for volunteer service, and that we're confident that we have the potential to be #1. Every act of service counts and proves that citizens of our state are always looking for ways to step forward and help. Special thanks to Governor Ricketts for his leadership and support of volunteerism and national service. We appreciate him taking the time to be here tonight. Once again, thanks to our sponsors and supporters: Metropolitan Utilities District, Motion Content House, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, Nelnet, Homestead Senior Care Foundation, Share Omaha, Omaha Public Power District, Benny and Jamesina Moore, Paul and Lori Hogan, Governor Pete Ricketts and First Lady Suzanne Shore, KOLN, KGIN, 1011 news anchors John and Taryn Vandeford, the Lead Center for Performing Arts, and the Nebraska Broadcasters Association. Your generosity has been vital in allowing us to shine a spotlight on the tremendous accomplishments achieved by volunteers every day. If you feel inspired by tonight's honorees, we hope that you'll participate in Serve Nebraska Week, April 17th through the 23rd, 2022. Visit serve.nebraska.gov for more details about the week's events and to find out more about the honorees. Starting in the spring, we'll be accepting nominations for the 2022 Step Forward Awards, and we'll need your help to find first-class volunteers in your region of the state. Lastly, we're grateful to all of you for helping us celebrate volunteerism. As the late Bernard Meltzer once said, there's no better exercise for your heart than reaching down and helping to lift someone up. Congratulations to the 2021 Step Forward Award honorees. We'll see you next year for the 2022 Step Forward Awards on October 28th, 2022. Have a great night.